Casual. Today we are going to be going over our Week 4 NFL game picks for the 2025 season. Now, last week did not go very well. Only got 7 right, 7-9. But it does bring our total record to 29-19, which isn't horrible, but definitely need a bounce back week here in Week 4. So starting off with the Thursday night game between the Seahawks and the Cardinals, both teams 2-1. Seahawks are 1.5 point favorites, so very even 50-50 game here. Both teams have played very well defensively. Been really impressed with both defenses. I mean, we kind of figured the Seahawks defense was going to be good, but the Cardinals defense has definitely impressed me. But I think the real difference in this game is going to be the offenses. Which offense can score a little bit more than the other, because both defenses should play very well. And the Seahawks offense is 5th in scoring now. A little inflated playing the Saints, but the Cardinals also play the Saints, so I guess you can throw that argument out the window. Whereas the Cardinals are 19th in scoring. Now, I don't think the Seahawks are going to score 30 points like they're averaging on the year, but I do think the Seahawks offense is a little bit better right now than the Cardinals, especially with the Cardinals losing James Conner. So I will go Seattle here 21-17 in a close game. But I think in a low-scoring game between two very good defenses, Seattle's offense just is a little bit more than the Cardinals, and that gets them the win. Next, the game in Dublin between the Vikings and the Steelers, both teams also 2-1. Vikings are 2.5 point favorites in this game. Speaking of very good defenses, the Vikings have been a very good defense, and the Steelers have been a very underwhelming defense this season. And Carson Wentz, while wasn't asked to do too much to beat the Bengals, wasn't horrible, wasn't out there throwing a bunch of picks and just happened to win because the Vikings defense played well. No, he kept it clean, did what he needed to do, and now he's going against the Steelers defense, who also, just like the Bengals, have been up and down this season. And I think Wentz can, similar to what I said about like the Seattle Cardinals game, how Seattle's defense has a little bit more than Arizona's. I think you can say the same thing with Minnesota compared to Pittsburgh. And I think Minnesota gets the win here in Dublin 27-20 over the Steelers. Next, we have a battle between the 2-1 Commanders and the 1-2 Falcons. The Commanders, are 1 point favorites in this game. Commanders coming off of an easy win against the Raiders with Marcus Mariota quarterback. Falcons coming off of a disappointing 30-0 shutout against the Panthers. Now, I don't know the health status of Jaden Daniels right now. I mean, even with Marcus Mariota, they kind of played pretty decent, and this is the Marcus Mariota revenge game if he is at quarterback. And the Falcons defense, which has been very good this season, even though the Panthers put up 37 of those were on a pick six, and the Falcons offense did give the Panthers offense good field position. So I don't know about those points, but overall the Falcons defense has been very good. And now they might end up playing Marcus Mariota, but the Commanders offense has also been very good. And another thing about the Commanders is their defense has actually been very good. And I think with how we saw Michael Penix play against the Panthers defense through the first 2 weeks hadn't been good, or week and a half, whatever, and couldn't put up points against them. Now he goes against the Commanders defense through the whole season has been good. I just think the Commanders have a little bit more firepower than the Falcons do. So I'm going to go Commanders winning 24-17 over the Falcons. Now, this game, this is an interesting game here. We have the 3-0 Bills against the 0-3 Saints. The Bills are 16-point favorites. You normally only see that type of spread in a college football game. I don't know if I've ever seen a more lopsided. It was 17.5 to open, like the opening spread was 17.5, and it's moved down to 16. Don't know what would change that, but I think the Bills win this game. I do think the Saints can put up points. We've seen Spencer Rattler and the Saints score 20 plus points, or we've seen them score 20 points once, so I think they can put up points, because the Bills defense, I mean, Miami put up 20 on them, Baltimore put up 40 on them, the Jets didn't put up too much on them, but their defense has been perfect by any means. I do think the Saints can put up points, but I think the Bills will put up a lot of points. And I'm going Buffalo 35-21 in my lock of the week over the Saints. Next game, speaking of big spreads, the Lions are 9.5-point favorites. 2-1 Detroit Lions, 9.5-point favorites against the 1-2 Cleveland Browns. Now the Browns did get a big win against the Packers last week. Very big win, very impressive win. The defense played great. But the offense also struggled to do much of anything, as they normally do. And now you're going against the Lions defense, who definitely didn't play perfect against the Ravens. They really turned it up towards the end, and they got a ton of sacks. I think they had like 7 or 8 sacks against the Ravens. So I do think this will be a low-scoring game because Cleveland's defense, because maybe a lot of people thought Green Bay could just put up a bunch of points against Cleveland, blow them out, and it was a close, low-scoring game. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily to be a close game, but I do think Detroit's defense and also Cleveland's defense will cause this to be a lower-scoring game. But I still think Detroit runs away with it 24-13 against the Browns. Now, our next game is a battle of 0-3 AFC South teams. The 0-3 Titans taking on the 0-3 Texans. Texans are 7-point favorites. I don't know if we've ever seen a bigger favorited 0-3 team, but I guess that's just how bad the Titans are. I just can't really imagine a world where the Texans start 0-4. I know their offense has been bad, but 0-4 just seems crazy, especially going against the Titans, who have been very bad this year. Now, the Texans' defense, on the other hand, unlike their offense, has been great, 5th in scoring. And now you're going against the Titans' offense, who is one of the worst offenses in the league. So I don't think the Titans even put up 20 points. And while the Texans' offense has struggled against this Titans' defense, I do think the Texans can put up at least 20 points. So I do think Houston gets this win 20-10 over the Titans. Next, we have the Panthers and Patriots, both teams 1-2. Patriots 5-point favorites. Now they're coming into this game off of a very frustrating loss to Pittsburgh. 5 turnovers, 2 in the end zone, or near the end zone, whatever. And they kind of just lost that, like they beat themselves, really. Pittsburgh didn't play a great game by any means, and they still ended up losing. Where on the other hand, the Panthers are coming off of a near perfect game against Atlanta, offensively, defensively, special teams, in their 30-point shutout against the Falcons. Now, I do think the Panthers' defense is better than they were last year. Wasn't hard to do. But in the last 6 quarters of football, their defense has been very good. I don't think they're currently the 8th best scoring defense. Now, I don't know if that will continue on throughout the whole season, but I do think it'll be an improved unit. Patriots, on the other hand, their defense has been very good this year. They haven't allowed a single team to score, I think it's over 21 points, something along those lines. So their defense has been great. Panthers' defense has been surprisingly good. And then you look at both offenses, which have been very up and down. Right? 2 young quarterbacks, Bryce Young, Drake May. They've showed their flashes, but they've also showed some downs as well. Very up and down young offenses so far. Between these two teams, I do think it'll be a close game. I don't think the Patriots win by a lot if they were to win, or even the Panthers. But I am just going to go with the home team and the team that has played, that I trust a little bit more on the defensive side. I'm going to go Patriots 24-21 over the Panthers. Next, we have the Giants and Chargers. Chargers are 3-0. Giants are 0-3. Chargers are 6.5-point favorites. And this is Jackson Dart's first start in the NFL. They bench Russell Wilson after a horrible performance against the Chiefs. They bench Russell Wilson, and they're starting their rookie, Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart, but throwing him into a game against the Chargers is a tough first start. Chargers are very good on the defensive side of the ball. Scoring-wise, they're the 4th best defense. And they're 8th in yards, 11th in passing yards, 9th in rushing yards allowed. So very good defense for the Chargers. And this Giants offense has not been very good. Now, those 3 games that we've seen from this Giants offense has been with Russell Wilson at quarterback, and the only good game they had was against Dallas. So maybe Jackson Dart can do something here with this Giants offense and at least get Malik Nabers the ball and keep giving it to Cam Skattebo. But I just think that it's just going to be tough for them to score against this Chargers defense. And I also think the Chargers on offense have been playing great. Justin Herbert's been playing great. And this Giants defense has not been playing the best. They have a good D-line, don't get me wrong, with Burns, Lawrence, Carter, Thibodeaux. But it's everything else that hasn't been great for New York. And I think the Chargers win this one 27-17. But I do think Dart, despite playing against a very good defense, I do think Dart shows enough that you can, as the Giants, if you're the Giants, be like, okay, we might have our quarterback. Even if we lost to the Chargers, our rookie played well. Next game is between 2 3-0 teams, the Eagles and the Bucks. The Eagles are 3.5 point favorites in this game, so very close. Eagles have been very, very interesting. I don't really know how to evaluate how the Eagles have done so far. Because they barely beat the Cowboys week 1, then they barely beat the Chiefs in a low-scoring game week 2. Then they get handily beaten by the Rams in the first half of the game, and then come all the way back. Jalen Hurts starts throwing the ball. A.J. Brown's getting involved. Devonta Smith's getting involved. And then they come back and win that game. So I don't know how to say, but and then the Buccaneers, on the other hand, they're another very hard team to evaluate because they're 3-0, but they've played the Jets, who are 0-3, and they barely beat them. They barely beat the Texans, who are 0-3, and they barely beat the Falcons, who are 1-2, and just lost 30-0 to the Panthers. So it's very, I don't really know how I feel about these two teams. But the Bucs defense has surprised me and played pretty good. And I think they can contain Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense. And the Eagles defense has been a little shaky here and there. Now, I don't think the Bucs are going to have Mike Evans. So it's going to have to be the Emeka Egbuka show. And I'm actually going to go with the Bucs in my upset of the week, beating the Eagles 28-24. Now another matchup of not 3-0 teams. The Rams are 2-1. Colts are 3-0. The Rams are 3.5 point favorites in this game. And I know the Colts have been very good, very dominant. I've been very impressed with Daniel Jones and this Colts team. But they beat the Dolphins, who are one of the worst teams in the league. They beat the Titans, who are one of the worst teams in the league. And they beat the Broncos, who, where on paper seemed like a good team, has been a little disappointing to me this season. So I still am not fully sure how to evaluate this Colts team. I'm buying in on the hype a little bit every week. Every other week I'm buying a little more into the hype, and I'm almost fully there. But this is a statement game right here. If they can beat the Rams on the road, not only will many people, but I will also be fully bought in on Daniel Jones and this Colts team. But that Rams team has been very good this season. Beat Houston. They should have beat Philly and was beating them very easily at the beginning of that game. And then they beat the Titans pretty easily. I guess the Colts did the same thing too. I think I'm just going to lean on the more experienced quarterback with Matt Stafford. Lean with the team that I think is a little bit better, just a little bit. And the home team. And I'm going to go Rams 27-21 over the Colts. But I would really like to see a Colts win here. I think that'd be great if Daniel Jones and the Colts can go 4-0 to start the season. But I just don't know if it's going to happen against the Rams. Now we have Jags 49ers. Niners are 3-0. Jags 2-1. Niners are 3.5 point favorites. I like both teams. I've been very impressed with both teams. Despite all the injuries, the Niners have gotten up to 3-0. Defense has played great, although they're missing out on Nick Bosa now for the season. And the Jags, another team that defensively has surprised me. They've played very well on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense has struggled, don't get me wrong. But the one weakness of this Niners defense through the first 3 weeks has been their run defense. That's been the Jags' strength on offense. And another factor that could obviously affect Trevor Lawrence is the pass rush, but Nick Bosa's not playing. So I think the Jags offense can actually put up some points here on San Fran. And I think that the Jags defense can contain the Niners enough. And I'm actually going to go Jags winning this game 20-17 against the Niners. Now we have Ravens Chiefs. Who would have thought that the loser of this game would be 1-3? One of the Chiefs or the Ravens are going to start 1-3. Ravens are 2.5-point favorites, coming off of a loss to Detroit where Lamar played great. Some of the pass catchers played great. But that was about it. The O-line didn't play great. The defense didn't play great. And the Chiefs are coming off of a win against the Giants where their defense played very well and their offense played good in moments. But now they're going against the Ravens defense, which hasn't looked too hot. And if they can somehow manage to contain this run game and just Lamar in general, because Lamar's playing great as a passer and runner, I think the Chiefs have a good chance to win this game, and they're home. And I think because we know what we're going to get out of the Chiefs defense, and we know what we're going to get out of the Ravens offense. And I think the Chiefs offense, while struggling, can take advantage of this weak Ravens defense. And I'm going to go Chiefs 30-24 against the Ravens. Our next game is between the Bears and the Raiders. Both teams 1-2. Raiders only 1-point favorites in this game. Another set of two teams that I just really don't know how to evaluate them. I still don't know how to feel about Geno Smith so far to start this season. And the Bears have been very up and down. Like, they didn't look great the first 2 weeks at all. And then they come and play Dallas, and they look great. They look fantastic against the Cowboys. And their offense and Caleb have played good. But now they go against the Raiders defense, who can be wishy-washy. And then on the flip side, you have a Raiders defense, which has been struggling. But they go against the Bears defense through most of the season hasn't been that good, but they were good against Dallas. I think I'm just going to lean with the home team here to play it safe and go with the Raiders 28-24 against the Bears. But I think this could be a very close game. I think this could go either way, honestly. Now we get our Sunday night game, the Micah Parsons revenge game. Packers, Cowboys, Packers 2-1, Cowboys 1-2. Packers are 7-point favorites, and the Packers are coming off of a loss to the Browns. And now they get to go against one of the worst defenses in the league. And I think Jordan Love and this Packers offense is going to put up a ton of points against Dallas. And I think their defense can contain, if the Bears defense can contain Dallas, I think Green Bay's can. Green Bay's can as well. Even better. I'm going Green Bay 27-17 on Sunday night in Dallas. Micah Parsons gets the win. I'm taking the Packers. Now we have our Monday night doubleheader, which may be the worst Monday night doubleheader we have ever gotten. First game is a battle between two 0-3 teams, the Jets and the Dolphins. Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites. Both these teams haven't looked good, but the one bright side has been the Jets offense. It's probably been the best unit of any of these two teams has been the Jets offense. Jets defense hasn't been good. Dolphins defense hasn't been good. Dolphins offense hasn't been that good. Now, both defenses have been the worst of the two teams. The Dolphins are the worst scoring defense in the league, and the Jets are the 28th best scoring defense in the league. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Even though both offenses haven't done a ton, I think the defenses are just going to let them do enough to score a lot of points. And I'm actually feeling, I'm going to go, regardless of it's Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields, I'm going Jets 27-24 to beat the Dolphins. And then our final game is between the 2-1 Bengals and the 1-2 Broncos. Broncos are 7.5-point favorites in this game. I just think the Broncos are just the more complete team. Bengals defense hasn't been that good. And Jake Browning in that offense also hasn't been that good. I know they put up points against Jacksonville, but Jake Browning also threw a ton of picks. And they turned the ball over a lot and struggled against Minnesota. And now you get Denver's defense, who, well, hasn't been as good as I think they could be. They've still been a solid defense. And I just don't know how much I trust the Bengals offense to score against Denver. And obviously we don't trust Denver's defense, Cincinnati's defense, to stop Denver. So I'm going Broncos 27-20 against the Bengals for the last game of the week. And that will conclude our Week 4 predictions for the 2025 season. Let me know in the comment section some of your predictions for Week 4. Leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.